This is where we install WordPress. Okay guys, we're going to install WordPress on your hosting server. A lot of hosting companies, they'll try to have their own version of WordPress. I'm not going to use that because usually it just installs some modifications and plugins along with it. But we're going to be using stuff that is a little bit different. If you have a domain name through a different hosting company, like me, I have mine through GoDaddy. So here's my GoDaddy account, and I've gone into the domain manager, and we're going to have to set our name servers to point to our new hosting server. Now, before I do that, your control panel or cPanel will actually look different than mine. I can almost guarantee, because my team and I have moved stuff around and redocked these. See, you can move these around like that to put the things at the top that we use the most. Okay, so when you purchased your hosting, you should have all of the information you need to get to a control panel of some kind. Different companies will send that information in different ways, so just make sure you can get to your control panel and you have all of your information. So they also sent me my name servers, and so I'm going to go ahead and go over here to my domain name. You can see this is the manager, the domain name server management for Pet Care Advisory, and I'm going to change my name servers. Now, if you bought your domain through a different domain company than GoDaddy, it'll look a little different, but it's the same thing. All companies that sell domain names have it to where you can change your name servers. So I hit to change my name server, and I actually have my name servers. I went ahead and put them in a notepad file here so I could grab them really quick. So let me get these. ns1, ns2, ns3, ns4 .a2hosting.com. So I'm going to put them in here. There's ns1, ns2. I'm going to hit add another one. ns3, ns4. Now, sometimes you might only have 3 name servers that you were given, or even 2 name servers that you were given. There's usually between 2 to 4 name servers, depending on your hosting company. So I hit save, and this usually takes some time to update. So you may have to wait a little bit before your server starts recognizing it. So at this point, you may want to pause and take a few minute break, but it usually does update pretty quick. All right, so I'm going to go back over here into my control panel. Now, if you have more than one website that you're hosting on this server, you're going to have a primary domain name, and then the rest of them have to be add-on domain names. So if you're only using your primary domain name, all you would have to do is change this name server, and then that would be it to get your domain name to point to the server properly. Now, I have multiple websites through this hosting account. So what I'm going to do is do what's called an add-on domain. And so you would go to the section called domains, which might be further down here. So you would go to the section called domains and you would click add-on domain. So I'm going to go ahead and add on my domain right here. So new domain name is petcareadvisory.com. petcareadvisory.com. And then whenever you click off, it does subdomain, and that makes a subdomain to your primary domain. And here where it says document root, this is the folder name that it's going to create on the server. I'm going to go PCA because I like to keep my folder names short. Then I'm going to click add domain. All right, it says the add-on domain has been created. All right, so after that, all we have to do is go back. Then I'm going to click this button to go back to my control panel. Now we need to add an SSL certificate to the new add-on domain we just created. On some hosting control panels, it'll have something called Let's Encrypt. You'll find it under security here. Everything we're looking for, it'll probably be, you might have to scroll down a little bit for it, but mine is right here. It says security, and you would find Let's Encrypt. I would typically use that one if it has the option. And if not, we're going to go to this SSL/TLS status, and I'm going to click that. So now it pulls up this page that has a lot of domains listed because I have a lot of domains here. So I'm going to go into this search field for mine. I'm going to go pet care and just search. And here's all of the domains and different types of domains. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit select all items, and I'm going to hit run auto SSL. And it might take a little bit. So your server actually can't add an SSL certificate onto your add-on domain until the name server has been completely changed over. And honestly, a lot of companies will give a warning that says it can take up to 72 hours to do, but usually it does it within 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause this for a little bit and come back and check on it in 15 minutes. Hey guys, I actually saw it popped up after about 3 minutes, and it says all of these are secured now. All of the different types of domains and subdomains that are created for our domain name here. And let me show you something real quick. While I was waiting for that, I went ahead and pulled this up, that domain name server changes usually takes 24 to 48 hours. As they say right here, this is coming from HostGator, and it's called propagation. But that's more of a disclaimer. It actually used to take that long about 10, 15 years ago. Now it usually happens in about 15 minutes to completely do it across the entire web, as it says here. But so just even though our server has recognized the domain name server propagation, not everywhere on the internet has recognized that yet. But anyway, so let's keep going here. So I'm going to go ahead and click to go back to home. And now that we're back on the home of our cPanel, and our name server has changed over and we've done our add-on domain, we are going to click on blogs under Softalicious Apps Installer. And here's WordPress right here. So as you can see, it takes a little bit more if you have an add-on domain, but if you create multiple websites on one server, like I do, you're going to have a lot of add-on domains, and you always have to do those manually. I'm going to go ahead and close out this window right here. I don't need that anymore, but we're going to go ahead and install WordPress. So go ahead and click on, you can click right here, or you can click up here. This is where we install WordPress, and as you can see, I actually have a bunch of other installations down here at the bottom, but what we're going to do is hit this Install Now button, and this will be the latest version of WordPress that pulls up here by default, and that's what we want. And we want to do HTTPS protocol, but go ahead and select that drop-down arrow and do www as well. Now, just so you know, if your SSL certificate is not set up properly on your server or on your hosting, it will have an error here. So if an error appears here, you will need to figure out your SSL certificate more and make sure it's installed properly, or contact your hosting for help. And then I'm going to select this drop-down arrow over here, and it will pull up a huge list of domain names. And I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to find Pet Care Advisory. There it is. Went past it. All right, now for now, we're just going to pick a site name temporarily. So I'm going to do Pet Care Advisory. And we're going to change all of this later on for search engine optimization purposes. So for now, I'm just going to put in something basic. Then we're going to expand the advanced options area. You can leave your database name and your table prefix, whatever they're set to. It usually randomly generates names. I'm going to disable notification emails because I don't want a bunch of emails about it. I do not want to auto upgrade. Actually, you know what? I'll do minor versions of WordPress only. Usually if there is a major update of WordPress, There are plugins out there that will actually quit working temporarily until you upgrade them. Sometimes it'll break your website if you do a major update without doing it yourself and making sure everything works properly. So we definitely don't want to automatically update to major updates to WordPress. We're not going to select either of these. We're going to leave the backup location to default. And for automatic backups, I'm going to go ahead and just set this to once a week. We don't want it to be backing up every day. Now, you could back up every day. If you're doing a lot of work on your website every single day, you may want to back up every day. It's up to you. I'm setting mine to once a week for now. If you want the installation details sent to another email address, you can enter that here. Click Install, and then we just wait a few seconds. All right, and it says, congratulations, the software was installed successfully. And it gives us the link to our website, which I will open up and check. Yep, that's what it looks like right now. Not very good. And then here is the admin URL, which is your URL/WP-admin. So I'm going to open that. And it could ask you for your login that you just created, or it'll automatically log you in since we're already logged in to our cPanel and we installed it through there. And that's it for installing WordPress, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Check out my full course on how to start an online business. Hit the link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.